That's one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Echo Live. Today, we're going to be doing a mini-sode, and we're going to be talking about one of the most famous experiments that happened on, you guessed it, the moon. So let's go ahead and take a look at this experiment. It was thought that when you drop two objects of different masses or weights, they would land on the surface at the same time. So right now I have one mass right here. It's actually green, so it blends right on into my virtual background. And here we have a medicine ball. So this is much, much heavier. So we're going to test this experiment right here on the Earth. If you're joining us for the first time, please go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat, and welcome back for any of our friends that are joining us again. Again, introduce yourselves in the chat, tell us where you're joining us from. And today, like I said, we have a mini-sode, so we're going to be going over one of our most famous experiments ever done on the surface of the moon. So again, I've got a very heavy medicine ball right here and a very light ball right here. So this one I can toss up in the air with one hand. This one I can, but I don't feel like catching it right now. It's much, much heavier. So what do you think? Do you think this thought experiment is going to be true? Two objects with different masses fall at the same rate and hit the ground at the same time. Go ahead and type that on into the chat, and we're going to do our experiment here in the distance learning studio. Let me go ahead and zoom on out. And we have our medicine ball and our smaller ball, and I'm going to drop them both from the same height. And you tell me, are they going to hit the table at the same time, or are they not going to hit the ball or the table at the same time? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so it looks like they hit at the same time. It even sounded like it too. But let's go ahead and do this experiment one more time. 1, 2, 3, and there we have it. Now, if I take a different object, like say a piece of paper instead, do we think that they're going to hit at the same time this time, or are they going to hit at different times? So let's go ahead and give that one more try from the same height. 1, 2, 3. These two objects are different masses, but it turns out that the paper takes much, much longer to hit the table than the ball. Just in case, let's go ahead and try our experiment again. 1, 2, 3. And it took much longer for our piece of paper to hit the ground. So this thought experiment was come up with by Galileo Galilei. And he said that a feather and a bowling ball or hammer should hit the ground at the same time. Now, they actually did this experiment on the surface of the moon. So I'll go ahead and show you a video of that happening. There we go. We'll go full screen. All right, so here we have our astronauts on the moon dropping a hammer and a feather at the same time.
Well, in my left hand, I have a feather. In my right hand, a hammer. And I guess one of the reasons we got here today was because of a gentleman named Galileo a long time ago who made a rather significant discovery about falling objects in gravity fields. And we thought that where would be a better place to confirm his findings than on the moon. And so we thought we'd try it here for you. The feather happens to be appropriately a falcon feather for our falcon. And I'll drop the two of them here, and hopefully they'll hit the ground at the same time. How about that? How about that? Proves that Mr. Galileo
This was an amazing experience that allowed us to be able to confirm that Galileo was correct. Now, the reason that it worked on the moon and it doesn't work here on the Earth is because we have air around us. So that air resistance stops the piece of paper from hitting it at the same time. But on the moon, it's basically a vacuum. So both things are able to hit the ground at the same time. What a wonderful way to confirm Galileo's experiment. So that's it for our mini-sode today. Thank you so much for joining us on Echo Live. Next week, we're going to be talking to our friends at Exalta one more time, and we'll be talking about some of the amazing things that we are discovering with Mars. If you don't know, there is a spacecraft landing on Mars actually tomorrow at 3:55. So you can also join the Michigan Science Center as we have a watch party and watch NASA's live feed. But we'll be also doing an episode next week on Wednesday, February 24th at 2:30 p.m. And we will be talking more about what that rover is doing on Mars and what it has discovered so far. Thank you again so much for joining us today. We will see you next time.